G'day, fantasy managers. Thank you for joining us for episode 3 of the FPL preview series. Jack here from Esports Live, back in the studio. I'm joined with the FPL guru himself, Matty Day. Matty, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Jack. Can't wait for the season to start in a week. It's getting so close. So, yeah, good. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it. And obviously, we're only a week away now, and we've had a bit of a week off last week from the podcast, and we were trying to get everything ready. Seeing what was going on in the background, see what's going on in the Premier League, watching the friendlies. But for those following us on our journey, we just want to start the podcast with a bit of a get to know you. We've had a lot of new listeners, a lot of new members join us in the recent weeks. So you'll know Esports Live have been in partnership with FPL Addicts for nearly about 18 months. And the guru has provided thousands of tips and advice to you all out there, and for thousands more to come. We've gained a huge amount of new listeners, as we said, and followers recently. And we wanted the new fans to get to know our partner, FPL Addicts, before we kick off today's pod. So obviously, FPL Addicts is Matthew Day, the guru. So Matt, a couple of questions for you, mate, just for a bit of a get to know you, as we mentioned. How long have you been playing, and what is your best finish in FPL?
Well, I've been playing FPL on the official Premier League site since the 06-07 season. And even before that, I was playing Schools Fantasy League in the UK, which is obviously a separate comp. So Fantasy League's been in the blood my whole life. Highest position, it was a top 5K finish in 2009-10. So some time ago now, but since then I've had top 10, 20K, 50K finishes. So, but it's getting tougher every year, obviously, with more and more players. But yeah, FPL for a long time now.
Yeah, top man. Obviously, plenty of hours. Looking on the computer, doing your research, watching all the games. You don't get those top 10K finishes and your top 5K finish without all that research. But so why do you love playing FPL, Matt?
Oh, just love football, and FPL is just a great way to follow the game. Also, the strategy behind FPL is enjoyable, and the feeling, picking a differential or a captain, who returns points. It's the best feeling, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's nothing like, obviously we're in Australia here, nothing like waking up in the morning, seeing who's hit from your team, who's had a nightmare, or who you should have got. There's nothing better than that, right?
Oh, it's the best, picking that differential when he comes out with a double or, a hat trick and you've captained him, it's the best feeling.
Yeah, and obviously going on to that and best feelings, what is the most memorable moment in your FPL career so far?
There's been a few. I've got two that I can sort of highlight. One actually goes in the year where it was my highest finish, 2009, Jermaine Defoe. Obviously, I'm a Spurs fan, and I captained him against Wigan. And he got 5 goals in the second half. I think he ended up with, 50 points. And yeah, that was a great moment. I think that was one of the sort of the biggest hauls I got early on in my FPL career. And then, a second one, which I've got to bring because FPL is kind of split into 2 parts. You've got pre-chips, so when there was no chips, and then 15-16 when they bring in all the chips, which is obviously triple captain, bench boost, and free hit. And 15-16 they bring in the triple captain, and I think it was around sort of that September time, August time, start of the season. Man City played Newcastle, and Aguero got a 20-minute hat trick. It was 6-1. Elliot Craig, one of our hosts, will remember it well. And he got 75 points as triple captain, and it pretty much won me all my mini leagues that season. And yeah, that's one that will always stay in the memory. Yeah,
wow. Is there there's surely got to be a new Aguero in there somewhere who's going to bag that many goals?
You know what? If Kane gets the move to City, then I'd probably back in with the triple captain, and potentially a five goal haul. It could happen again.
Yeah, if there's a man out there who can at the minute, it's definitely Harry Kane. Okay, so FPL Addicts socials. What do you bring? Let's have a bit about a chat about that.
Yeah, look, obviously we mentioned I've been around since 2017. I've played FPL for years and sort of speak about it every day. So with the Addicts, we've got our communities on Twitter, Discord, Instagram. We provide tips to players. We comment on their draft teams. Key focus is differentials and trying to help the community get ahead by picking those players that are under 10% owned. And like I said, we like to review the draft teams, opinions, and FPL discussion. And we like to share others' opinions. And we've got a friendly, safe FPL community where FPL addicts can sort of all come together and enjoy this hobby of ours.
Yeah, brilliant. That's what it's all about, that social engagement, having a community. Like, obviously a lot of us find it as a big hobby. It takes up too many hours to become a hobby, of course, but it's you just want that community and be able to bounce ideas off people to make those right decisions in the end that you're happy with or not. And where can people find you, Matt?
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, FPL_addicts is the name. So that's our two places you can find us, and obviously I'm on Discord now as well. So if you want to get in the Discord chat, it's a bit more of a personal chat in there. We've got plenty of channels, and I'm on there pretty much around the clock. So yeah, you can find me on those channels.
Yeah, brilliant. So for those, on Instagram, Twitter, FPL_addicts, search that and you'll find him. It's the one with all the great content and the great advice on there. Obviously, for those who are just maybe looking to get into FPL, obviously with the pandemic that has hit us over the last 18 months, a lot of people have just started to join. FPL has been absolutely blowing up. But for those who are still maybe looking to get in, is that for beginners as well? And can you experienced players jump on too?
Anyone. Yeah, look, obviously in the name, it's FPL Addicts. So anyone who's addicted to FPL, get involved. Beginners who've their first year, come along. Experienced players who got loads of knowledge and want to help, want to join the community. So anyone who loves FPL or even just loves football and wants to get involved with FPL, just come along.
Yeah, great. And obviously we've got our partnership, Esports Live and FPL Addicts. What does the relationship bring for you at FPL Addicts?
It's just brilliant to share the hobby together, collaborate, we discuss new ideas, create content, and that safe, vibrant, fun FPL community, and the gaming comps as well, like FIFA, which is how we originally met. I play a lot of PlayStation, and FIFA is a game I play a lot. So yeah, the gaming comps mean a lot as well, and the hobby and just the vibrancy of what we do.
Great stuff, mate. And obviously, one key bit of advice for anyone playing or looking to join for the upcoming season. What do they need to know from you?
Yeah, look, I'd say use the resources, read the data, take the tips and the research, obviously from the Discord, from our page, from other channels, from everywhere. But the one bit of advice I would say, first and foremost, is just always go with your gut instinct first above everything else. Don't second guess yourself. Because it's your decision at the end of the day to make those transfers, make the captain choices, and play those chips. So yeah, always go with your gut, and yeah, that's definitely my best tip.
And that's why you're the guru, mate. Top advice again. And obviously, thank you for taking the time just to do this for the listeners, our new members, and our fans about that. It's great work from FPL Addicts. We love what you're doing. That's why we love to partner with you. And we're delighted to be on this journey for another season. Can't wait to get going for the kickoff next week. And just one more thing before we get into the pod, mate. What's this T-shirt that you're wearing?
Yeah, so FPL Fan Store, a well-known FPL page on Twitter. I won a comp last season, and it's there we go, FPL team I support, real life in that order. So yeah, just I think that goes for a few of us. Like the club bit, yeah, not quite sure if that's right, but the FPL is always high on the priorities, definitely above real life, I think, for me.
Yeah, perfect. Nice T-shirt, and we might put that in our comments about where people can get them from. But all right, Matt. Well, let's get into the pod and let's go and chat to the boys. Here we go. Full squad are here. Obviously, welcome to the Esports Live FPL Addicts podcast. We're back again this week. We've got a full house in here now. We've just had a quick chat with Matt. We are just 1 week away from the Premier League kicking off, so that means you have a deadline. Your deadline is next Friday. I think if you're in Australia, you're looking around a 4:30 a.m. A 4 a.m. Deadline. Are you Bruno? Have you got the budget for Trent and Robbo? Are you waiting for Grealish to sign before you make your team, or are we still waiting for Kane as premium options? So many different headaches to have. But first things first, if you've registered for the FPL Addicts mini leagues, if you haven't, you can still do it. Our free mini code is 1KSRYW. We've got a paid mini on there as well, which has got some huge cash prizes. We're going to release a bit of information during the pod regarding that. www.e-sportslive.com.au/FPL Addicts. Huge prizes, manager week. Plus, we've got a women's FPL in there as well. So anyone out there, any girlfriends, any friends of, we're looking for some women international managers worldwide, wherever you are, enter the mini league and check out the website, how to register your team on there. Now it's time to introduce our guests and our panel for today. Of course, Matt the Guru from FPL Addicts. We've already said hello to him. Statman Dave. Dave, are you well?
Yeah, doing all right, guys. I've been getting around the Olympics this week, and particularly behind the Matildas. They're actually playing right now in the bronze medal game against the US. So I've got that on the background while we're doing this. And
what score is it, Dave?
We're down 3-1 at halftime, unfortunately. So the Americans are looking pretty sharp. So it's a bit disappointing, but spent a fair bit of time on my FPL team this afternoon. I've made a fair few changes from the last time we record the pod, so we'll have plenty to discuss later on when that comes up.
Wonderful, we can't wait. And over to our UK correspondent, Chris, the man Reid. How are we?
Hi mate, yeah, doing well, thank you. Just waiting patiently for the start of the season. Exciting times, really. Looking forward to it.
No, happy days, mate. I can see you decorated your room as well, mate. Have you been doing that in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, lovely. Just the right colour for me. Pink brings out my eyes a lot. So it's looking good. What can I say?
Yeah, nice setting that, mate. And then we've just had a man crash the podcast. Ollie Walker-Peel, legend. How are we, mate? You well or not so?
Yeah, very well. Getting ready for the start of the championship season. Obviously, being a Rovers fan, we start a week early, so championship starts Saturday morning. We're on Saturday or Sunday midnight. So can't wait for that. Obviously, hoping for a good season this season with Rovers. I reckon my FPL team and Rovers, they're going to both be a shambles this year. So we'll have to see how we all get on. But football's back, club football's back, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and listen, Ollie, good to have you on. I know you're a bit husky. I know you're a bit of a mix under the weather, and obviously too much commentary going on. So, but it's good to have you back in, mate. We're just missing your best mate, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't know what El's doing. Like we're heading into lockdown, and just like Newcastle most weeks, he's not showing up. So I'll have to see what he's up to. He's probably doing something. But I'll have to ask him.
I love it when you fire a few pelters at him, mate. I love that. But we are missing Elliot.
I mean, I may as well, because I'm not going to. Throughout the season, I try and fire some FPL jabs at him, but he's always better than me in FPL, so I can't even have that. I don't even have that to go at him. So who knows?
This is your year, Ollie. This is your year, mate.
Hope so.
What we'll do, we'll get into our draft teams. I know a few people are going to be dying, so we'll have a look and see what we've come up with. We're going to go to Statman Dave first. We're going to check out your team, mate, and see what movements you've made since we checked in 2 weeks ago. So take it away, buddy. All right, you're just on mute, Davey boy. Of course.
Sorry, boys.
You have 2 weeks off.
I made a few changes this afternoon. So I brought in Digne and Konate in defence. So a couple of the bigger teams. So hopefully chasing a few more clean sheets there. Midfield, did a bit of an overhaul in there. So I've got Buendia, Gill, and Bruno I've just brought in. Hopefully some scoring power in there, some good attacking options there in the mids. And then I brought in Ings when he announced that he was moving over to Villa. So the only thing is now that he's updated, I've now got 4 Villa players. So I'll have to get rid of one of them, unfortunately, but I'll have to work out what's going to happen after the pod. So that's only just refreshed in the last few minutes. And then, I think, Villa are going to be even stronger this year with some of their new signings, and hopefully Ings will benefit from that. And, so hopefully he can stay fit and he'll score some goals for me.
Yeah, listen, I'm really liking the back line, but you've also got a squad as well. I think that's something which obviously you've taken away from last year and coming to this season now, having that squad, and just so you've got that bit of rotation in there. I'm really liking Cresswell. He was good for you last year, wasn't he? You had Cresswell quite a lot last season, right?
Certainly a consistent performer, and I think especially for me, it's really important to have a couple of strong defenders, that I can rotate through depending on who's got easier fixtures and can potentially score those clean sheets. So that's particularly the area that I've looked to get a bit more depth in. So hopefully it works.
Yeah, nice. And not fancying Bamford to start, or are you still going to play around with that one, do you think?
Well, it's more just the matchup, I think. So obviously he's got Man U first. So of the three of them, probably, for week one anyway, I probably won't pick him. But yeah, definitely look to bring him in after the first week.
Yeah, nice. And listen, another one, obviously, I'm liking this United triple up. Lingard's a bit of a, I know he's been good for you in the past. Obviously, everyone jumped on him for West Ham at the end of last season. He's one of the best players in the Premier League for sure. But obviously, Lingard in there, he has got an opportunity to get a few games with Rashford going under the knife and getting his shoulder surgery. How are you feeling about him?
Yeah, well, it is. I suppose it's a little bit of a risk. We're not really sure how much game time he's going to get there, but he's certainly in the team for now, and we'll see if he can get some good minutes, and if he doesn't, then obviously he'll get the chop pretty quickly.
And I'll mention this one now as well, because I'm not too sure who else has got him in the team, but obviously Greenwood coming in. Cavani's going to be out for a couple of weeks, maybe game week 2 or 3 is back. So Greenwood coming in is a midfielder, 7.5 mil. Obviously he's going to be playing as a striker, probably for Cavani. So I think that's a lovely move to put him in there for sure.
Yeah, he performed well for me towards the end of the season last year. So he was sort of one of the first ones I picked when I put my initial team in. So, for now he's certainly going to be one of the starters for now.
Cracking, mate. Well, listen, I'm liking the team. Good start. I'm not too sure how he can improve it too much, but it is looking good, mate. So nice work. Just going over to what we'll do now. We'll go to Mr. Christopher Reed. We'll check out your team, son. So Reedy, I'll just bring your team up on the screen. You have the mouse, mate. Talk us through what you've done so far.
Yeah. I've done my team sort of a little while ago now, and I've not really made too many changes on it. I'm just waiting to see on transfer activity. As we know, there's a lot of pre-season friendlies going on at the moment, so there is that risk of players getting injured and stuff. So you do have to chop and change it. But yeah, so I've gone with Sanchez for Brighton in goal. I have heard there's been potentially there's a risk of him missing the beginning of the season, but I'll leave him in for now, and then obviously if I need to make a change, I'll do that. But you look at Brighton's fixtures at the beginning of the season, they're pretty tasty, to be fair. So yeah, him and Dunk, and hopefully if they do both start, that's a clean sheet in the bank. And then Trent, it's a difficult one with Trent because, as we know, he's a high-priced asset. So if you're going to get him in, it does mean that it becomes more difficult to build a bit of a squad. But I put him in there just simply because his assist record speaks for itself. Based on the last couple of seasons, he's absolutely lethal getting those crosses in and getting those assists and whatnot. So yeah, so I've got Trent in there. Luke Shaw speaks for itself yet again. Amazing Euros. Last season he was pretty good for United as well. So yes, I've put him in. Mo Salah. Now I think a lot of FPL managers, this will be the biggest game or the biggest sort of decision that people will have to make. He's got Norwich, great fixture first game. He's ruthless, as we know. He scores a lot of goals, and it's just so difficult to get away from him. It's Salah in that first game, captain pick. There'll be so many people that'll have him as captain, but there'll be a lot of people they'll think about taking him out because they want obviously a bigger squad or better players amongst their team. So, but yeah, Mo Salah's in there. Mason Mount, got him in. Brilliant season last season. Won the Champions League for Chelsea. Speaks for itself, really. He was brilliant, influential for them, and he had a decent Euros as well. To be fair, Bruno Fernandes, your man, Jack, the man you love and love to wake up to see his hit on the FPL every week. Bruno Fernandes, he's on penalties. It's a big one for most FPL managers. And yeah, hopefully he'll pick up where he left off last season because he did quite well. Buendia is a new one for Villa. And it's an interesting one, really. Big signing for them. Whether he'll feature, be a starter, we don't know. Villa seem to be making a lot of moves, mad moves in the transfer activity or transfer market, I should say. Grealish looks like he's going to City. They're bringing in the likes of the guy from Bayer Leverkusen, Bailey. Yeah, Bailey. They've just signed Ings. So we'll see on that one. That is just a differential, as the guru would like to say, that I've put in there because I think Buendia could be a little bit of a dark horse, really, to have in. And the front three, Antonio, Saint-Maximin and Watkins, all guaranteed to get minutes, as long as they're all fit and injury-free. And Antonio and Watkins, their goal records last season were brilliant. So hopefully they can pick up where they left off. And as far as my bench goes, I've kind of gone for low value players, your 4.5s and whatnot, just basically because we're starting 11. You look at it, there are a lot of high priced assets in there. So Begovic, he probably won't get any minutes for Everton, but he's in there just to, as I say, to fill a space. Bissouma, he probably might start for Brighton, so it's a good option to have on the bench. And most recently, I've put in Ben White, as he's made a massive move to Arsenal, really 50 million. It's a big fee, and whether he'll start for Arsenal, we'll have to see. But yeah, Ben White's in there, and as we know, Luke Ayling for Leeds, guaranteed starter week in, week out. He normally plays that right back spot. They might change up Leeds. They've let Alioski go, so they might need to readjust. Stuart Dallas might get moved into the back four. You never know, but Luke Ayling's a good one to have.
Yeah, nice, mate. And listen, there's a nice spread of players across your team there. Obviously, a couple of ones I'm looking at, Saint-Maximin, a couple of question marks over him, whether he can fire, but obviously he's a cheaper asset in there. He's obviously moved from midfield to forward this year on FPL as well. So how are you feeling about him going into the season?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. He did miss a little chunk of last season for Newcastle, but when he's fit and when he plays, they're just a different team, especially with the likes of Callum Wilson. If Callum Wilson's in the team as well, it adds that threat up top for them. And I think 6.5 million. There are a lot of high-priced strikers in FPL. So if you are looking for something that's a bit different that you think might pay off, it could be worth going for.
Yeah, nice. And I'm going to bring Ollie Walker-Peel into this conversation just in a minute, just with Buendia. Obviously, you would play against him with Norwich. Ollie, what do you think about him?
He's unfair at championship level. At my days, he's unbelievable at championship level. I think he scored against us at Ewood, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't watch the game where we played them at their place. But no, I think he's a good player. Obviously, the other season up there with Norwich, didn't he, in the Premier League, and he played really well in a very, very poor Norwich side. So I really like Buendia. He's a player I've got myself, so I think he's decent. Just on Leeds, by the way, you mentioned Luke Ayling on the bench. They had a friendly. Leeds had a friendly against Rovers, and I think Luke Ayling, played all right. So there's a bench option. You could go with him there. Interesting setup they went with, but I don't think much will change there. So you might be right with Ayling, Reidy.
And there you go, Reidy. Bit of analysis from our championship manager here. And then what we'll do, we'll jump onto Ollie's team now. So nice work, Reidy. Thanks for sharing that, mate. So Ollie Walker-Peel, let's have a look at this team. Obviously, you finished in the top. Did you finish 11th in our mini league last year?
I think so. I've forgotten that last season.
Yeah. Elliot finished top 10, maybe.
Yeah, I want to go a bit better. So do that, I'm going for the Brighton double up. Sanchez, we talked about. Joel Veltman, I think he's an underrated shout. Differential, as the guru would say. They've got the Dingles first up, so probably a clean sheet there. You've got Soufal. I've got Jamal Lewis on my bench if I scroll down a bit, so choice between them as to who I go with. If I go with Soufal or Lewis with that fixture. Luke Shaw, obviously, with the Euros and everything. There's not really much more we need to say there, I don't think, because he's quality. Midfield four, probably my strong suit. Salah, Fernandes, Son, Buendia, all four quality. At the best, you're looking at three absolute stars, and then Buendia. I like that signing for Villa. I think he'll do well. Front three, two Claret and Blue players, obviously not from Burnley because you know what I'm like in Ings and Antonio. And then bringing in a bit of championship knowledge with Ivan Toney. He's another player that's just mental. Obviously, 30 plus goals, 10 assists at championship level, scored home and away against Rovers, so I know exactly what he's like. So, in fact, both of his goals were from two of his goals from the penalty spot, so maybe could be on pens. We know what you're like with Fernandes, Jack, so you might be one you move to. Obviously, you've got Bruno with pens, so maybe a Solskjaer might be going for Ivan Toney in January, who knows. But on the bench, David Raya, wanted to get Rovers in there one way or another, so former Rovers keeper on the bench. Jamal Lewis, 4.5 million, good fixtures for Newcastle to start the season. You've got Billy Gilmore, 4.5 on loan from Chelsea. I reckon he'll get minutes. And another former Chelsea player in Livramento, I saw on the what do you call it? The website, FPL website. That one. Can't even think. But he's moved from Chelsea, got Academy Player of the Year last year, so he might slot in a fullback. So coming in there. And yes, I'm ill. I'm sorry, but I'm pushing through.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know if this was my internet connection or just the fact you
Multiple
had,
people said that.
sneezing your head off.
Multiple people said that. Multiple people said that.
The buffering message to pop up on the screen there.
I'm pushing through. I'm trying. All for the content. All for the content.
Yeah. So for anyone who didn't get that, you can just have a guess at what Ollie said. But basically, he's got Ings, Tony, and Antonio up top. He's got
see the team on the screen.
Selection.
I'll scroll up for
the
you.
Team on the screen. The team on the screen says it all. But Ollie, you've got Soufal in there. If you can see how you go with this, but Soufal was a player for you last season. I think you had him from must have been the start of the season though, or when he came in.
It was game week 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Early on, obviously, it was an unknown quantity last year. I was like, oh yeah, I'll need time to adjust to the Premier League, and then he was trying. Wasn't he getting assists for fun? So got me him again, 5 million. I think that's reasonable. So don't mind it. Yeah. He's sort of one that I've tried to chop and change. If I've tried to save $500,000, he's been sort of on the chopping block, but I've always returned back to him. So I think I'll keep him for game week 1.
Yeah, nice, mate. And just the last one. With Salah, everyone's going to be having Salah. What do you think of Mane as an alternative? I know he's only 0.5 cheaper, but what do you think of him as an alternative to Salah, just to try and squeeze other assets in?
Well, Mane's a good option. We all know that. Chris will know that better than anyone. It's just whether... I think Mane's very viable. It's just whether you want to go Mane and Salah, perhaps, or if you can risk going without Salah. So I think if you go without Salah, it could cost you a lot. So Mane's a good option, but I'd probably go Salah if you've got that 0.5.
All right, perfect. Ollie, it won't keep you any longer, mate. I'm just going to jump over to my team now, just so you can rest yourself, mate. So I'll just bring up my team on here. Hopefully you can see it. Just juggling between the screens. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, so similar to you boys, Sanchez in net. Oh no, this isn't mine. This is this is my Mrs. team for the Women's League. This isn't my one. So what we'll do, we'll come back to mine in a second. But I'll tell you what, Hannah in the for the Chicago Cubs in the Women's League, she's gone a bit heavy at top with De Bruyne, Fernandez, and Salah and Kane. She's got the premiums in there. She's got Tierney, White, Target, and Fredericks at the back. I thought it was actually quite a nice little selection in there, with obviously a very budget defense. Guru, what do you think of this team?
It's a nice team, Jack. I think. Look,
has she got a chance of winning the women's mini?
I don't know. Renee Guru Kusas is in there, and she's quite strong. But yeah, look, quite. She's got double up in Arsenal there. Could pay off in the first game against Brentford, maybe.
What do you think about obviously getting the premiums in with the budget defenders? Do you think it's a good plan or not?
Wouldn't say so early on. I think with the premiums, sometimes it takes them a few weeks to kind of kick into gear. The likes of De Bruyne is coming back from the Euros. Fernandez as well, and I'd probably say the start of the season is all about getting those. I love differentials. It's about finding those cheaper options, and then the premiums can kind of come into the team, a little bit later on. But yeah, very bold move, especially with that double up on Arsenal, Aston Villa, captain there with Target. So yeah, it's a very different sort of lineup.
Yeah, I might have to pass on a few tips to her and see, but I'll just bring up my one now on the next screen. Good luck to her. I don't think she's going to win much money out of that, is she? What's that, sorry?
It is Elliot in the comments. We were saying in the private chat, it's Elliot in the comments. I don't know if he's still listening. If you're going to say some stuff you've been saying in the comments, you've been slagging me off in the comments, mate. Come on here and say it. Come on here and say it, lad. Where are you? I'll turn it to Delia Smith. Mate, where are you?
We'll see.
Let's be having you. Look at that. Let's be having you, lad.
He's hiding behind he must be hiding in the Facebook group. So just a comment that's up on the screen now. Ollie to finish below me and Rovers to get relegated. What's the odds on that? I reckon we could probably go to Bonus Bank and try and who is one of our new sponsors who we'll chat about later. But I reckon we go to them again about the odds on that. What do you reckon, Ol?
I mean, I think it'd be unfair because they're almost unbackable. To be fair, I don't think Rovers will go down, but I'll probably finish below Elliot. But yeah, who knows?
All right, fair enough. So I've quickly just brought my team up now. Sanchez in goal, Target, Shaw and Digne at the back. In midfield, Greenwood, Fernandez, and Maddison and Salah. And then up top, Calvert-Lewin, Antonio and Ings. So I don't actually think anyone had DCL. None of you boys had DCL in there, did you?
Yeah, I've had him all the way up to today, and then I don't know who I brought in. Maybe might have been Danny Ings I brought in. Yeah,
and everyone's jumped on there. And then a very budget defense substitute bench of Foster, Johnson, and Bissouma and Manquillo. And I don't even think Manquillo will even get a gig this year, will he? With Ed and Mike Ritchie, but that's my squad at the minute. Reidy, what do you think of that one, mate?
Yeah, strong first 11 for certain. I think you've gone with your left full backs. It seems there's a lot of your left backs in your back three.
You know what? Me and the Guru love a left back, mate.
Yeah. Interesting actually. I've not seen anyone put Reguilon in there. As Guru's the Spurs fan. But yeah, good back three. Midfield's interesting. James Maddison. Not many people will pick him. Might even be an Arsenal player come the beginning of the season. They're apparently interested in him. So, a guy who takes set pieces and stuff like that. So, it's not a bad shout, to be fair. Greenwood, will he get a start? With Jadon Sancho coming in? That's the big sort of question mark on it. Will he play up top? Because Cavani's maybe out at the beginning. It's an interesting pick that one, and it could be one that pays off, or it could work the other way. And your front three, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Antonio Ings. The only disappointing one is DCL, mate.
DCL. Not a fan of you, mate. Not a fan.
He's
yes, yeah, but listen, he started so well at the start of last season, didn't he? Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant for a lot of points. Obviously, everyone jumped on him, then he faded off, then he dropped off. But I think I'm excited about that one. That front three, as well as Greenwood. I'm hoping Greenwood's going to start ahead of Martial. It should happen. Martial shouldn't be coming in there. Greenwood should be starting up top ahead of Cavani if Cavani's out. But I've been playing around just with the back. Obviously, I had Cancelo instead of Target. So, Dave, I don't know have you got any City assets you thought like Cancelo a good option to consider?
So I think I've got DS at the moment. I did have Gundogan, but he was one that I sort of removed, especially with potentially Grealish coming in as well. I just figured that the amount of minutes he might be getting might not sort of justify his place in the team. So at this stage, I've certainly pulled him out. But yeah, I'd certainly not getting too excited by City assets at the moment, just not knowing what they're going to do. So I don't know. We'll see what happens after the first few weeks.
All right, we'll see how we go. But there are draft teams for today. If you listen on the podcast, jump onto the video cast and you'll be able to see, go back through the footage and see those highlights from our draft teams. Maybe not all his because you won't be able to understand a word he's saying, but you'll be able to see what his draft team has come up with. But cheers, boys. Thanks for sharing. Guru, we're missing you out. Is there any particular reason?
Yeah, look, obviously my team's going to be revealed after deadline. It's going to be a grand reveal. But look, I'll give some stuff away now in terms of my team, just as a bit of a comparison to some of yours. I don't currently have any Villa players, with the exception of Jack Grealish, who's probably not going to be a Villa player, in a couple of days. So not on the Villa bandwagon as of yet, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to be. So currently not liking the Villa. So a little bit different. But teams, and no Bruno either. No Bruno. So that's just a little bit of
you're Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. So for now that could change in the next week, but obviously I'll be revealing after deadline. Guru reveal.
So for our listeners out there, what does that look like if you're in Australia? Is that what time you're getting up to reveal this?
I think the first kickoff's 5 a.m. Australian time. So deadline's about an hour and a half before, I believe. So you're looking about 3:30. I'll probably do a reveal about 4 a.m.
Yeah, there you go. Right, 4 a.m. Elliot Craig can't believe that you've got no Bruno. He said that is absolute madness, and so do I, because you know how much I love Bruno. All right, okay. Well, listen, I think obviously all the viewers and the listeners out there, the Guru will be doing a big reveal, a grand reveal as he calls it, next Friday night for Saturday morning if you're in Australia. And that'll be he will be revealing his team. I'd love to see an Instagram live on there, Guru, and you talking through your team, naming all your players. And obviously I expect to see Bruno back in there because I know you'll be panicking for sure. But that wraps up our little section here on our draft teams. Okay, so we've got a few little points to touch on. We're looking for a couple of discussion points, and instead of doing a proper Guru section, obviously we want to kickstart that when we get back into the preview for game week 1 next week on next week's pod. But Matt, have you got a few things you want to discuss with us?
Yeah, look, there's a few points I think that we could go over. I'm going to start with just a couple of budget midfielders in that 7.5 million range that have scored doubles in their last friendlies, and Gundogan, who we just spoke about. Obviously, I loved him last season. He just got a double for City against Blackpool. He arrived late in the box for both goals. So I think, with City having that early fixture against Norwich, he could be one to come in there. I think he's worn the captain's armband for City in the friendlies. And then another one who's quite, not been looked at too much, really low ownership, was Ziyech. He scored 2 goals last night for Chelsea in a friendly against Spurs. A couple of really good goals. I think, just looking at the recent friendlies, there are a couple of midfielders at 7.5 million that I'd be looking at in that differential range.
Yeah, nice. And listen, Gundogan was electric last season. Statman Dave, you liked a bit of Gundogan last year?
I did. He certainly appeared in a lot of my game weeks. As I sort of said before, I'm a bit hesitant at the moment, with the amount of signings and stuff they're doing and where he sits in the pecking order. But, he certainly might find his way in sooner rather than later, especially if he starts the season well.
Yeah, nice, mate. And Ollie, any thoughts on Ziyech? No idea what's happened to his volume here. He's having an absolute nightmare today.
It was muted, sorry. that was a 5-second stretch where I wasn't coughing either. There you go.
Take a deep breath.
So in terms of Ziyech, I don't mind him as an option, but there are players that go over the top of him. I know I spoke about the Leeds friendly with Rovers the other week, but Jack Harrison and Rafinha both looked incredible for Leeds. So I'd be taking them over Ziyech. Ziyech, though, obviously in a Chelsea side that can be quite creative. On set piece occasionally, so don't mind it, but there's other players I'd go with personally.
No, fair enough, mate. And then on to a couple of new signings. Obviously, we mentioned Villa have been splashing the cash in anticipation that Jacko's going to be leaving. So what are you thinking there, Guru?
Yeah, look, Leon Bailey, 6.5 million as a midfielder.
Matt, are you still with us?
Yeah, I can hear him.
No.
Yeah,
can you hear me, boys?
Yeah, all good.
Everyone but Jack can, I think, but he's just saying Leon Bailey is an option. Leon Bailey is 6.5.
Yeah, I think 6.5. He's got a good record at Leverkusen. I'd probably be liking him if I was going to pick out of those Villa midfielders. I think he could be my top. I know he's coming into a new league, but new signing. Got a good feeling about him. Obviously, Danny Ings, 8 million at Villa. I think, again, we've seen him score goals at Southampton. I think he'll be brilliant for Villa this season in FPL. And then sort of moving away from the new signings with Villa, you've got Ben White at Arsenal at 4.5 million. And I have to say, I think that's a good signing, and I think that's a really, really good budget option. And then, Sancho for 9.5 million. Brilliant option if you don't want to go Bruno, which obviously I've not gone so far. And I think Sancho, with his goal record at Dortmund, and the way he plays, I think he's going to explode at Man United. So 9.5 million, you're going to save plenty of money if you pick him over Bruno.
So, Jack,
no,
any
beautiful,
thoughts?
Mate.
Or...
And going into the Community Shield.
Yeah, look, so Sunday, I think it's Sunday night, we've got the Community Shield. So that'll be Manchester City versus Leicester. So that'll be an interesting one. I think it's one that, all FPL managers should keep an eye out for. see who City play in that attack, and obviously see who Leicester play in defence with with Fofana, getting that injury last night. So there's rumours that because Evans is injured as well, and Castagna, I think he's got a facial injury. So they've got a bit of trouble in defence. So someone like Amati apparently might be coming in at centre back to fill in, and he's only about 4 million and classified as a defender. So definitely look out for that Leicester defence and that Man City attack, and see who they play. Ready for game week 1.
Well, nice. Get me interesting to see what happens to the Community Shield. It'd be nice to just more football, the better. That's what we want to see. I'm just going to bring up your Twitter feed here, Matt. Ollie's going to just control this for us. You've rated a couple of squads recently on Twitter with a couple of our members that you've entered into the community. So I don't know if Ollie can scroll down, or Matt, you can guide him on there and just discuss some of the comments and some of the feedback we've been getting.
Yeah. If you scroll down a bit, Ollie, so there's a team drafted July the 31st.
So while he scrolls down to that one, if you're listening on here, you would like the guru to provide a bit of feedback on your draft squads, those teams that you've been creating. You've got a couple of headaches in there like everyone has. You can join our Discord. If you jump onto our website, you'll be able to find our Discord on there. Join the community, reach out to the guru, and he'll rate your squad for you, provide a bit of feedback, and then take it from there.
Yeah, this was one of them. We had a couple of squads rated. There's one a bit further down which we'd had a lot of feedback on, but this one I think we only had the one comment that come back in. This is one of our members' teams. There we go. This is one for you, Reidy. ASM Risk. I think this was your team actually, Reidy. So we got it rated. So St. Maximum a Risk, as will likely be more of a winger. Could be awesome differential. So we didn't get too much other feedback on that one. But yeah, what do you think on that, Reidy? Then obviously he's someone that you're expecting goals from.
Yeah. I think to be honest, I was quite happy there was a lack of comments because there wasn't too many negative comments as such. So that's good, really. It just goes to show that I've probably picked quite a good team, really, and I've looked at a lot of players that are on set pieces and your penalties and whatnot. So yeah, I can take a lot away from that. Maximan, as we've talked about on the pod, he is a risk or he is a differential. So we'll watch this space, I suppose.
I think he's won the league already, this lad. Matt, what do you reckon about the on this one? Then, you had a bit of feedback from some other members on your Twitter feed here.
Yeah, so Jay's in our Discord, and he's really active in our Discord, and wanted to get his team rated, and we had a bit of mixed reaction with this one. Obviously, he's got that Schmeichel and Sanchez rotation there, so we had a comment, Schmeichel and Sanchez rotate. Saying that Sanchez and Schmeichel rotate better than Schmeichel Pickford, because Schmeichel's 5, I think he's about 5 to 5.5. Pickford's 5 million. So I'd probably agree. He's probably gone a little bit too much money in his goalkeepers. Then I'd probably be keeping one of them, and then maybe getting a 4.5 million backup, or even a 4 million goalie like Ben Foster. So I would agree with that. Also had another comment. Choose another Aston Villa defender other than Ashley Young. Look, you've got Matt Targett, who's the same price. He's probably going to be, he's a bit more guaranteed to start. So again, I'd probably agree with that one. We had some other stuff in here about Pulisic. I personally think Pulisic could be a good shout for Chelsea. And then they spoke about Mahrez for rotation, but again, I think Mahrez is going to get the starts early on, so don't actually think that's a bad option. And then they're talking about Dyer not being a good option on the bench, and should get rid of him, which I'll probably agree with as well. Wouldn't own AVB. AWB, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I guess if Shaw's the same price, but again, I think with Jay, he's looking. The thing I like about this team, constantly said a few negative comments, is I do like how he's tried to pick differentials. Wan-Bissaka, Pulisic, Mahrez, Maddison. He's kind of gone against the grain, and I think there is some positives there. think Luca Digne is a good shout. Alexander-Arnold is worth the money, and even having Josh King to rotate in his team's good. So there's a few negatives with it's probably too much money in the goalies. Probably doesn't need Ashley Young. But, at the same time, he sort of gambled with a few differentials, which I do like early on in the season.
Yeah, and Jay took it really well as well. To be fair, he came back to us on the Discord, had a good bit of banter, and he knew he got a bit of a roasting with the feedback wise, but he took it well, and it gave him a bit of constructive feedback as well to work with his team and just reassess. But kind of like that as well. I don't mind some of them picks. So yeah, if you wanted your team rated by the Guru or from the the FPL Addicts community, it will help you guide some of them decisions and just refine one or two positions that you might be struggling in. But you can join our Discord community. That is on our website, www.e-sportslive.com.au/FPL Addicts, where you can find the links in the notes on the podcast or on the video cast, and then you can join in and get your team rated. Oh, there we go. All good. So just this next section now, this is our big announcement reveal. So we've got some exciting news with our paid mini league. So we announced this to our Discord community earlier as a bit of an exclusive release. But as some of you know who've entered into the paid competition already, which is a subscription league, $4 a week or £2 a week, a cup of coffee a week, you can compare it to be a part of our community. It's full of cash prizes, and now we've actually increased that today. It's gone even more exciting. We've taken it to a new level. It's a bit like Man United buying Varane. It's a new level. We've leveled up. We've become more attractive, and we're super excited. So if I just bring up I'm just going to reveal to everyone what these prizes are. I'm just going to bring up a screen here. Here we go. So now, if you join the FPL Addicts, powered by Esports Live, paid mini league, $4 a week, 38 weeks. The first prize in there now is 1,000 Australian dollars. 1,000 Australian. Probably, what does that work out in the UK, Reidy? In Great British Sterling?
No, it'd be more than that, isn't it? Is it about 800?
No, a bit less, mate. Not USA, mate. But yeah, about £600. So just for your subscription and being part of that community, 1,000 Aussie dollars, and we've got now
531. 531.
Oh, you had to put a downer on it, Ollie, didn't you?
Well,
first place $1,000, second place $600, third place $350, and now we've introduced a fourth place as well at $200. Plus, it doesn't stop there. We also have our Manager of the Week, so a nice little extra just for participating each week. This is fantastic. $20 a week, a little bit of cash in your pocket just for having one of those wonder weeks that you might have. Ollie might pop up one week and win it, and that'll be in for the rest of the season. Or you can, even if you have some serious form, like I had a great one last December. I wish I had this now going into the new year, into the new season. But with our new sponsor, Bonus Bank, they have sponsored our Manager of the Month, 200 Aussie dollars cash prize. The Guru, talk to me. How do you feel about this, mate?
Oh, it's unreal. It's an incredible amount of money to win. For Manager of the Month, it's just phenomenal, really. And look, I really want to win it. It's given me a big incentive to to do well. But I've had people in on Twitter and my Instagram page and everything, and the Discord since this was announced. Coming into me wanting to be involved now. So I think that Manager of the Month prize is massive incentive for people that aren't in the paid league to be involved. And it's just fantastic. Yeah,
and listen, this is what it's all about. We're Bonus Bank have come on board with us because we're all about community. We're trying to encourage more people to play the game. We've got a really active Discord community, very interactive, very engaging. We love doing the podcast and video cast each week. And what we've done, this cash pool now all up is nearly $5,000. $1,000 is gone into this now, near enough, and there is so many opportunities to win. We're not just in it for the long haul, just for the end of the season. It is going to be a weekly prize given away and that monthly one. So super exciting. Reidy, does this tickle your fancy, mate?
Oh, how juicy has this made it now, boys? anyone out there that's a fancy manager that, you know, has been a little bit sort of reluctant and normally goes with the free mini leagues. Now's your time really to, if you're any good at the game and you play it, you know, every week, and you fancy your chances, there's no better time to get involved than now, because it's just, as you said, it's gone up a level. And, you know, who's to say it won't increase even more? The more players that join, you know, the prize pool might even increase. So get in there, you know, boys and girls, it's just there for you for the taking.
100%, mate. And Ollie Walker-Peel, thoughts?
This doesn't affect me, does it? Because I'm not going to be winning in any of it. But for the rest of the people in the league, it's brilliant. Obviously, you know, to have a sponsor on it is incredible. $200 a month for a cash prize is mad. $1,000 for the winner. Like I say, I'm going to be nowhere near that, so it doesn't really affect me. But for everyone else who obviously might be half decent at this, get yourselves on it.
Yeah, no, listen, I'll just obviously go back to it as well. There's so many prizes to be won because it's weekly, monthly, and obviously for the season. This provides more opportunity for everyone to win. So even if you're a beginner and you're coming into this paid league, but you fancy being part of the community even more, this offers an opportunity to win that each week, or you know, and win those prizes. You know, you might turn up every other week or every couple of months with a win or for the cash prize, but this is your chance to be a part of it. There's not many other competitions out there that will offer all these different opportunities to win on a weekly or monthly basis. So if you want to join this competition, it is the paid mini. We of course got our free mini as well, but the paid mini is at www.e-sportslive.com.au/FPL Addicts. There's all the information is on there. Any questions you want to ask, just press the link to jump on our Discord, come and speak to us. And any members of our esports kind of community and FPL Addicts community will chat to you on there. And obviously, this is a bit of a segue now onto our new sponsors, Bonus Bank. Come on board with us. They listened to the podcast just recently. Absolutely love what we do. Obviously, they recognise how we've connected to the community and engaging with everyone. But obviously, we're delighted to announce our season-long partnership with bonusbank.com.au. They are a membership website. They also have an app as well, so you can be able to search for that and download that. That shows you how to make a guaranteed profit by taking advantage of bookmakers' promotions. It's not gambling. It's a tipster service, and it's quickly becoming Australia and New Zealand's fastest-growing side hustle. The members make an average $2,500 in their first 60 days of membership, so why not join them and have a piece of that? It's completely free to get started. Head over to bonusbank.com.au and you'll learn how to make your first $75 profit immediately. If you decide to go premium, use the FPL Addicts code to receive 25% off your discount on your first month membership. So www.bonusbank.com.au. It's in our little ticker bar at the bottom, and also you'll be able to find the ads on our website. But a big thank you to Bonus Bank for coming on board. Dave and Nico, who have joined us from there. Great lads, and looking forward to them coming on the pod and giving some little guest sections, which they've promised to do. And that'll be some great insight. And there's some very exciting stuff coming from them as well, which we are yet to reveal. One of them will be coming tomorrow. But big thanks. And listen, guys, join in now. The FPL Addicts Fantasy Mini is going off. There we go, and we're still advertising it. So, going into our final couple of minutes, Guru, can you give us a quick 30 seconds on what is happening next Friday night? I know it's the Premier League kickoff, but we've got a draft to do, right?
We do have a draft. It's going to be brilliant. Obviously, we've got 10 of us in the league from the community, so it's time to pick our draft teams and see how we go. We're going to have trades on this year as well, so it's going to make it even better than last season.
Brilliant. So we've got 10 of our kind of weekly members who have been on with us for the last 18 months. They're going to join us. Everyone who's on the podcast right now is in. Reidy, looking forward to the draft.
Yeah, I can't wait. Cannot wait at all. Like first time doing it. You boys got a bit more experience on me on that, but as Matt said there about the whole trade situation, that wasn't there last season. So this season, it's going to make it very interesting because people will either be buzzing because they've made the right trade, or they'll be they'll be absolutely gutted, crying into the cereal there, if they've made the wrong one.
That's it. And we've got a 30-second changeover between each pick as well in the draft. So you can watch that live next Friday. Statman Dave brought up some brilliant form last year. Everyone got a bit scared when he was coming up from the middle of nowhere. Statman, you excited to go?
Absolutely. I might struggle in the Classic League sometimes, being a bit of a rookie, but the draft is where I think I did pretty well. I started off pretty poorly, and I think I didn't win any of the first 6 games, and then just before, a few weeks out from the end of the season, I'd peaked at the top, and then fell away a little bit at the end. So it was a bit of a roller coaster, but no, the draft is a good fun, and it's just because you're good in Classic doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good at draft or the other way around. So it keeps it interesting for people like me who aren't the seasoned FPL players.
Yeah, but we all know you're doing your research in the background, Statman. We know what you're like. Ollie, you excited for draft next week as well, mate? He's on mute again.
He's
on his
muted.
headphones.
Different places. I've had a shocker, but right, I don't even care who won it last year.
It's not getting fined.
Can't remember who won it last year. Don't care. I'm coming for your crown. This is my year, boys. My year, boys.
He won it in October, didn't he, Jack?
Yeah, that's it. So if
I've
anyone
got the experience.
Yeah,
I've
if
got the
anyone was
experience.
watching and listening last year, Ollie
It's class.
won the league maybe 4 times and then dropped out maybe 6 times and refused and resigned. But we're very excited for the draft. That's another little internal competition we're gonna have between us and everyone else. Obviously, jump on free mini, paid mini, the women's FPL mini, and yeah, just so much. But yeah, listen, thank you for joining us. We are out of time. A big thank you to our sponsors, Bonus Bank, and guys. Nearly $5,000 worth of cash prizes to be won. Let's have it, and we'll be back next week for our game week preview. Get excited. We can't wait, and we'll see you then.